The welfare programs was not to help black women and their children. The welfare programs was to distract black women away from the fact that if you had your man, you wouldn't need welfare. And even now, the black woman is still being brainwashed, some of them, away from understanding that the black man's unemployment and incarceration is a government-created condition. Black men are abandoning the black community. We move out to the white suburb. I don't know of a black professional man who still lives in the hood he grew up in. So if I'm a young 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old black boy, who's going to be my role model if I don't got none in my neighborhood? I'm going to go to the rappers. I'm going to go to the basketball players. And you know who's still in the hood? You know who's still in the hood? The gangbangers and the drug dealers. And that's why they the role models. Because all other black men have abandoned our boys. Now check this out.
Okay.
Here's where we got to get strategic with the military setups.
Okay.
Dr. King was going to be murdered in the car as he drove to dinner at a local friend's home. He was not murdered on his way to anything political. He was going to dinner. You see that?
Yes.
So how did they know where he was going? How did they know when he was going? How did they know who he was going with? So there was people all involved in that who Dr. King trusted. And when Dr. King died, you know, all respect to Ralph Abernathy, who I think might be an ancestor now himself, but I was really disappointed in Ralph Abernathy when he put his book out and the wall came tumbling down. Because in the wall came tumbling down, he exposed all of Dr. King's extramarital affairs. And I thought that was wrong because Dr. King considered Reverend Ralph Abernathy to be his best friend. So if you my best friend and I get assassinated, you put all my business out, even telling people that on the day of my assassination, I had taken company with a woman. Why? Why would you mar his image? And I'll tell you this, what I believe personally, I believe that everybody around Dr. King had some degree of jealousy for Dr. King.
That's how it is.
Do you understand me? I believe Ralph Abernathy secretly envied Dr. King because he became the man and he didn't. Now you fighting for the people. You fighting for the people. What does it matter who out front?
Rewind the tape. You said he was jealous because he was the man,
and he wasn't
trying to be.
And he was trying to be the man. I mean, let's be honest. Malcolm X was murdered because people wanted his spot. I mean, let's just be honest. Right. You understand? So we got to understand that the ego of the Negro is something we're going to have to deal with if we're going to come out of this situation, because everybody got you. Because everybody can't be the front man.
No.
Everybody not the voice. You understand me?
Right. Somebody got to be.
And everybody wants to be the voice. I've dealt with this myself. I've had microphones turned off. I had people put a mic out the wall because of the oratorical. You follow me? Yeah. And brothers, charisma. People are easily envied for those who are charismatic. Oh. So when you are charismatic, sometimes you got to control your charisma so you don't envy. I'll give you this. I've been invited to share platforms with certain national leaders. Yes. I've denied it. You know why?
Why?
Because I said if I get on the microphone with him, I'm going to show him up without even trying. And I know his ego is so big that if I show him up, he might take that personal. And now I got to look both ways before I come out my house. See, I know that there are black men. Some black men are willing to kill to protect their position. You understand me? Within the hierarchy of, you understand me? So my thing is, if I know I'm stronger than you on the mic, if I'm more charismatic than you, I would rather give you the whole spotlight. I don't even want to rival you at all. You understand me? Because it ain't about that. I'm going to let you have your day. I have my own day.
Correct.
Because the last thing I could be dealing with is some Negro trying to stab me in the back because I'm getting more shine than him. And it shouldn't matter. Because guess what? One day I got to do what? Pass the baton. One day I got to give it to a younger brother. So if I'm more concerned about Dr. Umar being number one than I'm concerned about black people being number one, when it's time for me to pass the mic, I might kill him. You understand me?
Right.
I don't want him to take my spot. I'm Dr. Umar Johnson. I've been Dr. Umar Johnson for 40 years. Who this young brother fresh out of college speaking better than me, a stronger Pan-Africanist than me, and more? You understand me? If I love my people, young man, it's your time now.
Jealousy breeds envy.
Jealousy breeds envy, but it also breeds a lack of progress. We can't move. Because guess what? One of the laws of nature is what? The next generation automatically supposed to be better than this one.
Correct.
The next generation automatically supposed to be better than this one. So if I'm not willing to concede leadership to the next generation, I'm not doing this for black people. I'm doing this to myself. In other words, Too many black leaders are serving their ego, but they think they're serving the people.
I had to be quiet after that because you said so much stuff right there that people already know but have never heard it broken down like that. So let's take this ego with politics, the educational system with the African American men and women growing up, elementary school, junior high, high school. I heard you in an interview. I remember back in the day, I'm class of 89, I'm old school. We had Votech. You had a way in school, free school, to get a trade, to learn how to live as an adult, even if you did not go to college, get a degree. Why did they take Votech out of schools?
To lay the groundwork for the mass incarceration of black males and to make the black man economically irrelevant to the black woman. The 1970s was the decade of the mass incarceration of black males. This is the laying the groundwork. This is the evolution. Right? Mass incarceration of black males because America didn't need us no more. Mass incarceration of black males and making the black man economically irrelevant to the black woman. In other words, we're going to make sure his woman does not fight by his side for economic justice. And that's one of the reasons they rolled the welfare programs in the black community. The welfare programs was not to help black women and their children. The welfare programs was to distract black women away from the fact that if you had your man, you wouldn't need welfare. And even now, the black woman is still being brainwashed, some of them, away from understanding that the black man's unemployment and incarceration is a government-created condition. It ain't because he's lazy. Some are, but not most. It ain't because he don't want to do better. Some don't, but most do. You understand me?
Yeah.
This is the ghetto was created by the government. Mass incarceration was government. Miseducation is government. Gentrification is government. Economic justice is government. Police genocide is government. Here's what I say to black people who say black people are our own worst problem. If we are our own worst problem, name one institution we control. Give me one. Nothing. We don't control the economy. We don't control the prisons. We don't control the schools. So how can I be my own worst enemy when I control none of the systems that are crushing me daily?
Because, when they took that out of schools, you still have trade schools and all that. There was a diminish in the population of black men basically taking trades in schools to come out and be successful and raise a family. Now, to the guys out here that are listening to us right now that are kind of in a slump, they are misguided mentally. They have no drive. They are caught in a systematic world of the just hustling and all that type of stuff. What is your advice to them?
My advice wouldn't be for them as much it would be for the community. Because remember, it takes a village. And my problem with us as American Africans is we often segmentalize and fragmentalize populations of the black community as if we don't all contribute to their malady. So the question is not, what do black youth need to do different? The question is, what does the black community need to do differently so black youth can be empowered? You don't get these drive-by shootings without the black community ignoring the youth. You don't get 8 and 9-year-olds robbing old women for their car keys if they were being supervised and raised correctly. So the dysfunction of black youth is the dysfunction of the black community. But if you notice, when you hear these conversations, it's always about black mothers need to do better. Black fathers need to do better. Black youth need to change their behavior. The black community needs to reinvent itself as a community that cares about its people. We're the only community in America that does not have safeguards to protect its own. When is the last time you seen a homeless Mexican?
In LA.
When is the last time you seen a homeless European Jew?
In New York.
But not often. You see homeless black people all the time. You understand me? My point is most cultures have a safety net to protect their downtrodden. We don't have a safety net to protect our downtrodden. So what happens to the black downtrodden when they're hungry and homeless? They turn on black people. So in many ways, the violence that's gripping our community is our own collective community karma consciousness. We gave birth to this as much as white America did. The 8-year-old as killer, every black person's DNA is on that 8-year-old as killer's life. Because if black man was on their job, he could have never became a killer. Black men are abandoning the black community. We move out to the white suburb. I don't know of a black professional man who still lives in a hood he grew up in. I don't know one. Everyone I know moves to the
couple.
suburbs. You know a couple, but it's few and far in between. So if I'm a young 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old black boy, who's going to be my role model if I don't got none in my neighborhood? I'm going to go to the rappers. I'm going to go to the basketball players. And you know who's still in the hood? You know who's still in the hood? The gangbangers and the drug dealers. And that's why they the role models. Because all other black men have abandoned our boys.
Okay. Now,
White America is not going to save us, brother. We got to save ourselves.
how do we...
Economics and education. We have to start pooling our money together to provide economic opportunities for single mothers, black youth, and of course black men. White America ain't gonna hire us. Why you think they got the Afghanis in here? Why you think they got the Ukrainians in here? Why you think they got the Mexicans in here? Why they keep on bringing white Cubans in here? You know why? These are the replacements for the American Negro. Immigration is the extermination of the American African.